Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And I've got some interesting commentary coming to you today. If you've looked at my past videos, we've talked about police officers and their issues. We've talked about lawyers and their issues sometimes, and getting in sketchy, hairy situations, and even judges. And you've also heard me talk about the disparity in pay and sometimes the disrespect for our police officers, public safety officials that work very hard and need to have an increase in their pay. You've heard me talk about that for nurses who work very hard, just as hard as doctors, and need an increase in pay. And you've heard me talk about teachers who are highly disrespected. They have a lot to deal with and have a lot on their plate dealing with students each and every day, and administrators, and their jobs are tough. So I got one coming straight out of Southwick, Massachusetts, where white students hold an online slave auction of black classmates, allegedly. Here we go. Southwick Regional School Principal Shorter issues apology letter on the alleged bullying and racist incident. Plans are in place to address students and staff after winter break. Following allegations of racist harassment at Southwick Tolan Granville Regional School District in Massachusetts, the school district emailed the school community on February 12th, informing them of a highly inappropriate and racist conversation that students were having on Snapchat that involved students at Southwick Regional School. And this is how it goes. These alleged incidences include everything from the use of derogatory racist language to the creation of an online slave auction. That's right, an online slave auction in 2024 in a Snapchat group called Black People Are Low Class, where they placed bids of, you won't believe this, $2 to $4 to purchase black students at the school. So the white students created a Snapchat for an online slave auction for the black students, and the bids went as low or as high as $2 to $4 per student. This is crazy in 2024. 22 News talked with Miss Allison Lopez, the mother of one of the victims targeted by the alleged racist harassment. Ms. Lopez met with school administrators to discuss a safety plan moving forward. She told 22 News, "It has become glaringly evident that there is a serious lack of understanding and commitment among the administrative leadership to ensure the safety and well-being of all students because of their race or ethnicity." Principal Serena Shorter will hold meetings with students and staff on Monday. The plan is to offer counseling and support services and identify areas for improvement to address bullying, bias, discrimination, and racism, and identifying areas for improvement. Does that sound like the most politically middle-of-the-road statement that administrators, politicians say each and every day? There's so many loopholes in that statement. That's just purely a generalized response, but it's not saying anything specifically. The school says that it will be enlisting external experts to lead discussions, offer training, and equip our school community with the necessary tools to address similar situations in the future. Still, what is that saying? What exactly and specifically are you going to do if your kid is being harassed and bullied, and even being offered to be sold in an online slave auction, imaginary online, fake online slave auction on Snapchat? You would want more specific answers and transparency on what exactly and specifically you're going to do to the students and to ensure a healthy, safe environment for these kids to be learning in school, as opposed to all these external negative, deleterious behaviors that are taking place in many of these schools throughout our country. They're there to learn. They're not going to school to bully, to fight, to harass people, to be a distraction. We have gotten so far away from what the whole definition of going to school is that it is appalling to me as a middle-aged guy. In the 70s and 80s, school, getting an education was the key to your freedom, to your American dream. That has gone all by the wayside now. Superintendent Jennifer Willard told 22 News that the district concluded its investigation into racism, bullying allegations on February the 16th and said due to strict laws protecting students' privacy, we are unable to comment on the specific disciplinary consequences and/or other steps taken. Well, that's not necessarily true. The law, you have to abide by the law when it comes to minors, not to give their name, address, or any personal information. But you can give the disciplinary consequences to the students or the group that was committing these harassing allegations. So you could give some detailed description on what your plan to move forward is in a positive direction. So you can't give the names, but you can iron out your step-by-step plan to change the environment and the narrative at your school district. Springfield, Massachusetts NAACP President Talbert Swan II said he was confused by her response. Just as I said, how can you conclude the investigation without talking to the parties that filed the complaint? There needs to be a level of transparency in terms of what steps they are taking and how they are going about safeguarding students who are victimized by bullying and harassment. So I thought it was very important to do a story on this. As I just said, we've gotten so far away for what the purpose is for helping our young people navigate their way to adulthood. As I said, in the 70s and the 80s, it was all about going to school, getting an education, becoming a doctor, lawyer, whatever. And none of these doctors, lawyers, judges, police chiefs, fire chiefs can become those titled positions without teachers. School used to be a healthy environment, and as I said, especially minorities, people of color, middle white America, if you wanted to elevate yourself from one class to the next, it was through education. But now we have this preponderance to advertise and market athletics and entertainment, and young kids putting all their marbles in one basket is setting these children up for failure. And then you have these social media platforms where instead of young ladies wanting to be nurses, doctors, or teachers or administrators, they want to be Instagram models. What we've done in our educational system is we've devalued it so much, and we've increased the physical nature of a being, whether it's male or female, the external part, and we've devalued the internal, the thinking, the spiritual, the conscious growth part of what our young people should be trying to do to make the future a much more safe and logical and intellectual space. We've devalued all of that. And so now you see situations in 2024, this is not 1924, this is 2024, where we still have scenarios where racism and talking about slaves or using the N-word is still an issue in many of our schools. And of course, we know that Boston and many places in Massachusetts have been known to be racist, and that narrative needs to change. School needs to be a place of safety, positivity, and intellectual growth and maturity. Tell me what you think about this case out of Southwick, Massachusetts. This is the Trevor Donald Experience.